See the last question of the day. Community-based disaster management, which seeks to empower community directly to enhance their indigenous coping mechanisms, is a must. Elaborate. Good question. Take a couple of minutes. Yes, Rajni. Good framework. Yeah, anyone else? Yeah, same Santa. Yeah. So fairly again, a straightforward question. It's only, but then sometimes what happens with these kind of questions is in examination, you will find suddenly that there is, some void in your content, because these are some kind of unorthodox questions. Because in the previous question, you will find the challenge of excessive points. Here, the challenge will be not so sufficient points. Am I right? When you try to attempt this question, did you guys face similar kind of hurdle?
Yes, sir. Community-based disaster event is only one point we use in answer, but here we need to elaborate about that one point in a holistic answer.
Yeah, see, there are only 3 or 4 points you can mention and expand. So, Rajni, you are saying no. So, what do you mean by no? So, you had fairly sufficient points apart from the traditional knowledge, a local administration, fighting with regard and having those points, traditional knowledge, bringing them in fighting the disaster, the community helping the local administration. What else points you wrote? Except for those 2 or 3 points. Yeah.
Sir, what I meant by I didn't find any difficulty is like after revising the last few questions of the on the same topic, I didn't find it challenging to write it, even though it was the same 4 or 5 points, but it was enough for 150 words.
Okay, that is fine. I'm saying in the examination point of view, because these are unorthodox questions. If you take the previous question of environmental degradation and then its impact on the disasters, I think everyone will write very good answers, and the challenge there is to how to make my answer more appealing to the examiner. In this particular questions is to write sufficient 150 words which are relevant to the question. Okay, so coming to the question, community-based disaster management, which seeks to empower community directly to enhance their indigenous coping mechanisms, is a must. Elaborate. So the examiner is saying that community has to be involved in disaster management. There is no second saying about it. And then he's saying, please see this term, elaborate. So basically he's asking you people to elaborate his statement. Whatever statement he has given, that statement he wants you to elaborate and justify. In this context, you can mention what is community-based disaster management. Basically, community-based disaster management is one where you are involving group of people along with their inputs and knowledge to fight the disasters. Okay, how it seeks to empower the community. So the first thing is to empower. You can say how it is empowering. How is it empowering? Basically, it is using the knowledge of the people, especially the traditional knowledge or the old age knowledge which the people are having to fight that particular disaster. So basically, when you talk to your grandparents or the previous generation people, they have certain legends. So most of them are derived from the practical experience as to how certain disasters can be fought. They don't know the prevention part, but they definitely know the response for disasters. So by seeking those inputs from the community and community-based knowledge, you can definitely bring in lot of information into the disaster risk reduction or the disaster response. And then here you can give examples like people of sentinels. Okay, how sentinels survived the tsunami is a very big case study. You can say sentinel community could survive tsunami, which is a very big disaster, because they must have had some traditional knowledge of fighting such a tsunami. That is the first point. Second point is when community is involved at large, the seriousness or the approach towards the disaster is holistic in nature. Holistic means all the dimensions are covered. It is not like one man is thinking and is going on implementing. No. Everyone will come and give constructive solutions. And then when the community is involved, local administration finds it easy to engage with the disaster management because everyone will be in the state of cooperation. No one will resist the local management taking certain actions. And finally, community-based disaster management will extensively help in fighting the disasters in relationship with the Sendai framework of prevention, mitigation, response, and recovery, and also have a much better bottom-top approach when compared to the traditional top-bottom approach, and it will help each and every region to have a customized approach towards fighting the disasters. Instead of one size fits all, every region and every disaster is different. A cyclone in Orissa is different from cyclone in Telangana, because Orissa is having a borderline. The sea is directly there and it is rising, and the Telangana cyclone or management is different. So you cannot have the same approach for cyclone in Telangana and Orissa. So one size fits all is not an approach for fighting every disaster. By involving the community, you are having a tailor-made bottom-top approach, which the community can decide based on their discussions with the local administration, and the center and the state at large can only be the facilitating mediums. So these are the points you mentioned. And then you can give innovative solutions like at each and every village level, you can have a disaster response team who can coordinate with the local people and the local administration during the disasters. And a team can be there to specifically promote knowledge and information about the disasters and create awareness among the people as to how to respond towards the disasters. And they can also promote the spirit of preventing disasters in the next generation. So all these are the important aspects in fighting the disasters as a community. And then you can conclude by saying this is the best approach in view of the issue we have. Finally, that can be the conclusion. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Whose answer I have not done in the last two classes? I think Prasad I have done, Rajni I have done, Jitendra, Renuka, Anil I must have done. Vasavi or Soumya, who have written this question? Vasavi has not written. Soumya, not written. Okay, so again it boils down to you guys who have submitted the answers. Why is that other guys are not found? Sumant, Sriram, busy people.
Sriram is sick, sir. Sumant is not there.
You have track of everyone, Jitendra. I think next person who has track of most issues after Ramana sir is only Jitendra.
No, sir. They are the
So-
people available here, right?
Rajni and Prasad, you have written?
No, sir.
Prasad has not written. So finally, Jitendra and
Yes,
Rajni.
sir.
Rajni, you have written?
Yes, sir.
Community-based DM. Don't explain so much about community, man. Not required. And then, okay, you are saying group of people in disaster affected areas. You can just write that, how community, maybe you can start from here. Okay, yeah, you can say, you can start from here. Okay. Community-based disaster management can empower the community to cope with the disasters and can go a long way in minimizing the loss as the property. Okay, up from here you can start. Okay, clear, Rajni? Yes, indigenous knowledge, good. Yes, Sentinels of Andaman, very good example. Nice. Yes, first line defense, training, awareness. Yes, having proper terracing hills. Do's and don'ts, local power, local governance. Good. Good answer, Rajni. You have made all the relevant points. Maybe you can just conclude as we have discussed. Okay, so that was about these three questions. Any doubts in these three questions? Any doubts you guys have in these three questions? Okay. Fine. We'll meet tomorrow. Good night.